I think about the incident that night every single day.
It's been nearly a year since Priscilla Sandifer last spoke with her daughter and only child, Amaya. The 20-year-old was an innocent bystander shot and killed on May 7, 2022, while dropping off a friend at a party in Green Acres Park. Her case remains unsolved.
I'll never be able to have grandchildren or see her get married. All those special moments have been taken away from me.
Back in December, this proud mama got a chance to accept Amaya's college degree from Tennessee State University posthumously. On this National Youth Violence Prevention Week, she and other mothers who have lost a child to gun violence offering up a word of warning and urging other parents to be on high alert. Have those tough conversations, check in on their mental health, know who their friends are.
Because someone decided that it was their power and their right to take your child.
Deanna Howard lost her son, Sean, in August of 2017. At 19 years old, he was gunned down in a parking lot near Richmond Road. The suspect was found not guilty in 2021.
Never thought my son going up to Walmart to get batteries would end in his death. Never in a million years.
She's partnered with One Lexington and Moms Demand Action to advocate for survivors and continues to fight for public safety measures meant to protect people from gun violence.
And I'm begging the youth and everyone to please think about it. Put the guns down. Let's have a safe and happy summer.
In Lexington, Kelsey Soto, WKYT.